Hi everyone, I'm roll number 39, Yasu, and today my topic is TDS and TCS, two major component of tech. So in today's presentation, we learn about understanding TDS and TCS basics and applicable provisions and bills, deduction and collection process and quarterly return filing. So TDS and TCS are two major components. TCS requires a person or entity to collect the payments from customer when while making them payment. And TDS requires a person or entity making payments to deduct a percentage as tax and remit it to government on behalf of the payee. It is applicable on the payments like salary, interest, rent, and professional fees. Why TDS and TCS are important? It helps government to generate revenue on a steady basis, prevents tax evasion, and help the associate to comply with the tax provisions. Major steps for the TCS and TDS quarterly return filing are determine the applicability and opening stand. Stand is a major component for TDS and TCS collection, and it is the 10 digit uh, 10 digit account number. Then the associate needs to deduct and deposit TCS and TDS to the government. Then uh, file quarterly returns and then issue certificate of rectify errors using form number 16 and 16A if there is any correction or rectification in the file. The due dates for quarterly returns are July 31st for quarter 1 and October 31st for quarter 2 and January 31st for quarter 3rd and May 31st for quarter 4. In India, we follow some major steps for filing TDS returns. These are Excel screen and NSDL website, download RTU utility, prepare return office, enter Chalan and deduct details. To submit TDS returns, we need to follow some procedure. For example, create and validate file, log into income tax portal, download CSI file, upload SVU file, and after all these procedures, we need to finalize our submission so it can generate acknowledgement which will help us to retain the cost. Why is 10 and why is essential? 10 is a 10 digit alphabetical numerical which is required entity to deduct tax and TDS. um, if an assessee will deposit and collect tax without having 10, then it will not be considered as legally valid. It is issued by Income Tax Department and it is very mandatory for filing returns. To apply for 10, we need to file in form number 49B on NSDL website. If an assessee default in filing or submitting TDS and TCS, then there are few penalties. For example, for late filing, there is a penalty of 200 per day. For failure to file, then penalty will be 100,000, 10,000 to 100,000. And for late deduction, then interest will be 1% to 1.5% per month. There are few form numbers for TDS and TCS certificates. For example, for form number 16 for salary payments, form number 16A for non-salary payments, and it must be submitted within 15 days from the due date of filing the return. To elaborate the following TDS and TCS compliance, I would like to give you a few examples. For example, XYZ Motor sell a car worth 12 lakh to customer, then TCS provision will be 1% on the amount. that will be 12,000. And another example regarding penalty will be if a person fails to file form number 24Q for the quarter number second, that is due date on October 31st, then the penalty will be 200%.